Hello.
Right. So, as you
Hello.
rightly said, as Sakshi rightly said, that all those people who are involved into legal activities, there are experts from different domains. There are other departments who have already made certain code of conduct. Their details must be taken, and employees as well must be involved. Let's say
Yes,
you
sir.
are an employee and you are involved into making of the code of conduct, right? So if you are involved into the making of the code of conduct, you would definitely follow it. You yourself would try to implement it, yes or no? Because you had
Yes, sir.
contributed into it. Yes or no, Shruti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so um, if overall speaking, you people are absolutely correct. This is what I want you people to think upon, because without this, you won't be able to answer the questions given there, right, into the examination.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the ethical framework of the code of conduct. Now, for every aspect of life, let's say political aspect of life or the administrative aspect of the administration, you have got the ethical framework designed for it. There is a very close nexus between ethics in public life. But we have been seeing that when the country got independent, at that time we people were more ethical and following more code of conduct than now, because we had only one intention at that time, that is liberation of the country and betterment of the people of the country, right? Yes.
Yes.
But now the agenda it has over a period of time has kept on changing, and because of which the ethical touch to the politics is slowly and steadily fading away. This is what we must now understand. And if you talk about the working of the constitution itself, it talks about the ethical stuff must be done. Now, code of conduct, a broader outline, our constitution itself provides us, yes or no? Our constitution itself provides us the broader aspect. Now, if you talk about code of conduct, it also involves the clear and onerous responsibilities. So if you see, India was fortunate enough that high standard of ethical conduct were an integral part of our freedom struggle earlier, right? So if that was the case, we must consider ourselves very lucky and fortunate for that, because without having certain high standards of ethical conduct, we would never have attained independence, right? So there were people who were working selflessly for the benefit of the people of the country. Definitely, for because of their efforts, the country is currently independent, right? So, as I've already told you, that unfortunately the ethical capital started getting eroded after the transfer of powers to us. हम लोग पहले बहुत अच्छे से इसमें काम कर रहे थे, मेहनत कर रहे थे, हमारे इंटेंशंस भी सही थे, बट क्या हुआ जब से ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर्स हो गई, तब से क्या हुआ कि हमारा जो एथिकल कैपिटल है, इट स्टार्टेड इरोडिंग, गेटिंग दिस आइडिया?
Right.
तो इसी वजह से हमको ये सब्जेक्ट आया है और पढ़ना है हम लोग को. Okay, so let's
Yes.
move further ahead now. Let's move further ahead. Now, how can we say that such kind of ethical issues are seen in India? Ethical issues in politics. Now, ethical issues we have been observing, right? There have been illegitimate money which is being spent for the campaigning.
The
There are
votes. Yes.
imperfect
Yes.
electoral rolls. There are impersonation. There are booth capturing issues. There is violence.
Yes.
There is
Violent.
impeachment. There is intimidation to get votes, right? All these kinds of
Yeah. Yes.
issues we have been seeing, right? So these are the excesses in elections that we can say. Such kind of excesses in elections we have been seeing now because of the hunger of power, and now currently is a bit different. Now earlier we did not have that kind of a hunger for power. We had an intention of getting this country liberated, and then there were a few people who were maybe having certain personal aspirations of having the power in their hands. Whereas, overall speaking, the complete uh, constituent assembly, which was involved into the making of the constitution, were making this constitution for the betterment of the country. So they were not doing it
Yes.
for gaining power and becoming, you can say, absolute power into the country. They were not doing that. They were not having that kind of an intention. They were not having wrong intentions for doing all these stuff, right? So, yet it is a widespread view, you can say, that much more is needed to be done to cleanse this political system, right? I must say that
Yes.
you would agree with me for
Yes.
this point that there is
Yes.
much more which is supposed to be done. I don't know whether
Much.
people are aware of around 3 days, 3 or 4 days back. Um, there was somewhere around there are a few people who wanted to launch a candle march towards EVM issue, right? So
Yes.
that was the stuff that was there, because many of the people are still not believing into the election system. Why? Because there is no transparency still, right? We just have a belief that yes, the system is working transparently. Otherwise, there is no proof of uh, document. There is no proven process by which we can say that yes, the process is uh, flawless, right? Am I clear?
Ah,
So ultimately, what we are doing is we are just believing in our system. It is not. So, but that cannot just keep us away into darkness. We definitely need to do a lot into the political system, right? So, uh, let's move further ahead. We have also seen the criminalization of politics, right? Now, what does
Yes.
criminalization of the
yes.
politics is? What do you understand by that? Shruti, please go ahead.
Usage of arms and muscle power in politics to gain votes.
Muscle power, that does not mean that it would be always um, criminalization of politics.
There.
Please, yeah, please go ahead.
Uh,
Can I?
sir,
Yes, Preeti.
sir, may I speak?
Yeah, yeah, please, Shruti, please go ahead.
The Naxalites attack during election on the polling booth can be called as criminalization.
That is booth capturing, understand? That is altogether different. That's not criminalization of politics. Those people are out of politics. Okay, so
Sir,
that is called
nice.
nationalism. That is separate. That is nationalism, right? That is out of politics,
Yes.
right? Yes, I suppose Sakshi has
Uh,
raised hand.
ye-
Yes,
yes,
go ahead.
it's mainly all the external influences which is there
Right.
over, some investigations or some proceedings or something like that. So mainly all the influences which you have, not necessarily the muscle power and everything, but
Mhm.
yeah, just the influence which is there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
it is the
Yeah, Jignasa. Please go ahead.
Sir, there are there are some the party people who actually have criminal cases on them, and
Very
they
good.
are,
Very good. Very good. You have got it
without
very
even
correct.
hearing them, they are like involved in the politics, and they do the elections and all. I
Right.
think that
Right.
is also criminalization
Yeah.
of
Yeah. You
politics.
got it very very correct. I suppose Preeti was also talking about the same. Yeah.
yeah, same thing, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So overall speaking, so what I've just understood out of all these is participation of the criminals into the electoral process is something which is increasing day by day, and we have seen the
Yes.
statistics now. There are some around 43% of the people who are MPs, and
Yes.
they have got criminal cases against them.
Cases on them.
I don't know why
Yes.
are we not having the clean collared people into the politics. There are various reasons for that. Not only civil cases, they are having the criminal cases against them, because criminal cases इतने
Yes.
आसानी से नहीं होते. Criminal cases भी हैं.
हाँ.
Not only it's not a small number, it's a large proportion, around 43% of the people, right?
Yes.
So criminalization of the politics is definitely increasing, and which is somewhere or the other going against the code of conduct of our political process. So growth of crime and violence in society to the point of increasing mafia in many sectors. You have seen, I don't know whether you people have heard of a mafia who wanted to enter into
Yes.
politics, who was from Mexico. Uh, his name was
Okay.
Pablo Escobar. I don't know whether
Oh.
you have heard of it or him.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So this guy wanted to enter into politics. He tried his best. He entered as well, but later on, when the things were exposed, he was expelled from the house. So all these stuffs were done. When he was expelled from the house, uh, killed a lot of people who were responsible for expelling him from the house, right? So such kind of things can be done by mafias, because these mafias, once they enter into the politics, they make their business legal. Understand that?
Correct. Makes
So
sense.
they make their laws according to their business, and then
Yes.
so so we have been seeing that all these kinds of activities are happening. Inordinate delays, all these stuffs they keep on happening, right? So the elected position and the substantial protection that it can give helps him either to further and expand his activities, or to evolve into an entity with higher political ambitions, right? So I don't know whether you people have heard the statement or not. Many of the people in India say that uh, the father of all the businesses is politics. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know whether you
Right.
people have heard of this statement or not. All the businesses, they derive their origin from politics, and सभी businesses का जो बाप कहते हैं हम लोग वो कहते हैं कि भी politics है, right? So ये जो चीज है, ये हमारे माइंड से जब तक है, और ना ही ये भी जब तक ये पॉलिटिशियंस के भी माइंड से जब तक ये जाएंगे नहीं, तब तक ये कंट्री जो है प्रॉपर डेवलपमेंट की तरफ मूव नहीं हो पाएगा. ये बात हम लोग को समझनी है, राइट? So despite all the flaws that we had for in our past, despite of all the flaws that we still have, there were various recommendations which were made by various committees and commissions to resolve all these issues. So certain recent improvements have been made. What are these improvements? Improvement in accuracy of electoral rolls, right? So we have tried to make it more accurate. There must, as compared to the previous months, now we can say that comparatively we are having the better electoral rules, but still there are flaws into it. I'm not saying that the flaws are not there. There are flaws. That what types of flaws you are? I can just explain you. There are people who are eligible to vote, having the valid voter ID, but still their names are not mentioned into the electoral roll. Getting this idea? So there are a lot
Yes.
of cases wherein this year as well, the people who still wanted to vote, their names did not come into the electoral roll.
Yes.
So
So
that,
it happened with me.
yeah, pardon me.
So it happened with me this year.
Oh,
This
so the
time.
example is there in front of you only.
Yes.
Right? So, you are eligible for it. So why not your name should come there? Understand that your name should definitely come. If there are people who are having criminal cases can contest elections and can go into the parliament, why can't a person
Parliament.
who is innocent is allowed to give vote, right? So the names are not mentioned into the electoral roll. There are further some more advances supposed to happen in this, right? Next is disclosure of antecedents of कैंडिडेट्स. ये थोड़ा सा हम लोगों ने भी ये किया हुआ है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या डिस्क्लोज किया, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या मैंडेट दिया कि जो भी आपके पास्ट रिकॉर्ड्स है, आपकी जो पास्ट की जितनी भी चीजें हैं, वो आप सबसे पहले बताएंगे. आपके ऊपर कितने केसेस है वो सबसे पहले डिस्क्लोज करेंगे, राइट? तो ये सब चीजें जो है डिस्क्लोज करने के बाद ही आप कह सकते हो कि आप कंटेस्ट कर सकते हो इलेक्शन। सो ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो दिया है, ये जजमेंट इज अ गुड जजमेंट, राइट? So any criminal case pending, anything pending, any conviction which has happened earlier, all those things must be mentioned. Your past financial records, your IT returns, your bank accounts, your transactions, your property details, your family property details, all these assets and liabilities that are linked to you must be disclosed, right? Before or at the time of or before the election itself, right? Not at the time, but before the elections, right? Am I clear with this, guys? So that's a new improvement which has been done now. But there are certain other improvements as well which are done apart from this. Now, this is something which is covered under disqualification of persons convicted of criminal offense. Now, that's the latest development, guys.
सर
Pardon me. Yes.
सर ये डिस्क्लोजर में अभी रिसेंटली केस चल रहा था उन लोग का कि वो डोनेशन जो मिल रहे इलेक्शन कैंपेन के लिए वो नहीं डिस्क्लोज करते, ऐसा क्यों?
अभी देखो, यही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ आपको, दिस इज अ फ्लॉ व्हिच इज देयर इनटू द सिस्टम, राइट? ये हम लोग
Yes.
मैं अभी भी आगे हम लोग देखने ही वाले हैं। वैसे मैं आपको यहाँ यहीं पर एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ। Some of the countries have stopped such kind of issues by a new type of idea that they implemented. Like let's talk about Canada, let's talk about UK. तो उन्होंने क्या किया हुआ है कि इलेक्शंस जो है, इलेक्शंस में सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को एक पर्टिकुलर बजट रहेगा, वो पर्टिकुलर बजट जो है वो गवर्नमेंट ही हेल्प करेगा,
हाँ,
ठीक है? दैट इज कॉल्ड एज
yes sir.
इट्स नॉट दैट इन कनाडा एंड यूके वहां पर मिनिमलिस्टिक अप्रोच है, बट मैक्सिमलिस्ट अप्रोच जो है, मैक्सिमलिस्ट अप्रोच मींस द गवर्नमेंट वुड टेक केयर ऑफ एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट। जैसे अगर आपको कैंपेन करना है, सब करना है, देयर इज अ प्रॉपर सर्विस व्हिच द गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स हैव ऑलरेडी आर प्रोवाइडिंग टू द पार्टीज, राइट? तो कैसा है कि जैसे आपको पब्लिसाइज करना है, आपको अपनी रैली निकालनी है, तो उसकी प्रॉपर इन्होंने डिपार्टमेंट्स और सेगमेंट्स बना के रखे हैं। आप और सबका एक सेपरेट बजट है, वो गवर्नमेंट ही जो है पब्लिक फंड से जो है वो स्पेंड करती है, और उतना ही सभी के लिए स्पेंड करती है। कोई भी पर्सनल और प्राइवेट फंडिंग जो है वो अलाउड नहीं होगी, और they would not be allowed to take any donations from any private party or any businesses, right? Whatever they, even if they take it, that is for their personal stuffs, जो डोनेशन के उनके रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस और नॉर्म्स के अंदर आएगा, बट नॉट फॉर द कैंपेनिंग पर्पसेस, राइट? तो कैंपेनिंग पर्पसेस जो है, फॉर दैट, फॉर इलेक्शन पर्पसेस, द गवर्नमेंट सेट्स द बजट and the government itself decides that what is supposed to be, which are all services must be availed to all the political parties for their campaigning before the elections, right? So ये जो है maximalist approach है। maximalist means the maximum involvement of the government into the election procedure. Getting this?
Yes.
मिनिमम
sir.
तो जो है वो कुछ कनाडा यूके वगैरह में प्रोवाइड करा जाता है। उसमें कैसा है कि जो भी आप सर्विसेज लेते हो, दीज आर सब्सिडाइज्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट विद द minimal involvement of the government. That is also fine, wherein they not much talk about the private investments into it, but they are subsidizing the services being utilized. That is the minimalistic approach. मैं आगे और डिटेल में बताने वाला हूँ आपको, बट यूएस जो है ये थोड़ा अलग में काम करता है। यूएस कैसा है, मिनिमलिस्ट अप्रोच प्लस प्राइवेट फंडिंग, ये दोनों पे काम करता है। सो इसीलिए क्या होता है कि जो लोग भी बिजनेस ओनर्स है, तो दे कैन डेफिनेटली इन्फ्लुएंस द इलेक्शंस, राइट? जैसे अगर हम लोग बात करें, अभी डोनाल्ड ट्रंप है, डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ही हिमसेल्फ इज अ बिजनेसमैन, right? So for him to influence election was not that difficult because he had money. So minimalist approach, wherein the subsidy would be given by the government, right? It would subsidize, whereas for the more private funding would be required. These are the three types of fundings and three types of election procedures which are conducted across the globe, right? So आप इसमें देख सकते हैं कि इसमें इंडिया कौन सी कैटेगरी में आता है। यू कैन सी दैट, राइट? wherein we have very very minimalistic approach with the private funding involved into this, right? सो जहाँ पे भी ऐसा प्राइवेट फंडिंग का किस्सा आता है, वहाँ पर कैसा है कि बिजनेसेस जो है, दे definitely get an upper hand. Like let's say if Ambani donates a huge amount of money to BJP, then definitely most of the tweets which are being made would be in favor of Ambani or some other businessman. I'm not just pointing out this guy, but I'm just telling you, this is how it happens, right? So it's like these people are running the show. Um, they purchase the MPs by giving them the X amount, and then they get their acts passed for their own benefits. They get, if the act is not being passed, they try to pass the ordinance wherein the houses are not required for taking the decision, but still 6 months are there in your hand once the ordinance gets passed by the president. Once the president passes the ordinance for 6 months, it is valid. Within 6 months and 6 weeks, it must be considered by the parliament. So you still have 6 months, 6 weeks time to implement and to get the maximum benefit out of the president's ordinance. Now, the worst thing about this ordinance is what I tell you. Even if the parliament disapproves it after 6 months and 6 weeks, the actions taken within the 6 months and 6 weeks would not be invalidated. Getting this idea?
Okay.
Are you understanding this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, Preeti, what you have just said, that the private funding is not being disclosed. I think that's a move which is required to make it more transparent, right?
Yes, yes.
At the time of demonetization, what they said, that the individual members who are depositing their, they have got the limit. They've got the limits, whereas the party's account, if the money gets deposited, it would not have any limits. Getting this idea? So whatever money these people had, they got that deposited into the party accounts, and that was out of the audit of income tax. Getting this idea? Or any indirect taxation system as well, right? So that's how it was. So let's talk about disqualification of persons convicted of criminal offense. ये एक नया मूव है, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, we are moving towards the recent improvements. So ये एक नया मूव है, disqualification of persons convicted of the criminal offense. ये अभी हम लोग disqualify कर देते हैं, ठीक है? पहले क्या होता था कि all those people who were convicted of the offense. Now listen to me very very carefully, guys. Whatever the point that I'm discussing here is very much important for you. A person who is convicted of an offense in a lower, understand, a person who is convicted of an offense in a lower court, if he or she appeals for the higher court, appeals for the case in the higher court, and the appeal is still pending, then the person was allowed to contest for the elections. Getting this idea? Earlier,
Yeah.
yes, earlier he was allowed. So that was under section 8(4) of Representation of People Act. Can you see that?
Hmm.
Yes or no?
Mm.
So for you people, I'll just underline it. Under section 8(4) of Representation of People Act, it was earlier unconstitutional as it violated equality before law. Okay, it was earlier unconstitutional. It violated equality before law. Why? Because the people who are convicted of an offense in the lower court, they have appealed for the same court in the higher, same case into the higher court. And if
Oh.
at all the case is still pending into the higher court, they can contest the elections, right?
Hmm.
But now it is not the case. Understand that. Don't read this statement. I'll just explain you, right? Now, if anyone is convicted of an offense, right? If the case is pending into the higher court, he cannot contest the election. Understand? If he is convicted, हमारे इसमें भी क्या बोला है? Once a person is convicted of an offense, there is a cooling period of 2 years. Within these next 2 years, he cannot participate into the elections. Getting this idea?
Oh. हाँ, makes sense.
जो भी उसको पनिशमेंट होगी, पनिशमेंट के बाद जो 2 years है उसके, वो 2 years के कूलिंग पीरियड रहेंगे, उसके बाद ही कैन कंटेस्ट द इलेक्शन. ऐसा नहीं कि जो क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस किया हुआ है और जिन्होंने सजा काट के आए हुए हैं, अब वो contest नहीं कर सकते. They can do that, but once the cooling period is over, understand that. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's something which is good, right? Next move that we have done towards this is enforcement of the code of conduct. Can you see that? Enforcement of the code of conduct. Now, as I've already told you earlier, that people, once they have made the code of conduct, they have told it to the other juniors, they still do not like to undergo a bitter process of always assessing and monitoring the juniors. And if at all the junior is committing certain mistakes, they don't even take that kind of a courage to blast them. Yes or no?
Yes.
I'll just explain it in a simpler language for the other people. अगर नहीं समझ में आया तो एनफोर्समेंट जो है कैसे होगा, तो सुपरवाइजर है, वो सुपरवाइजर ने टाइमली असेस करना है, और अगर कोई गलत जा रहा है और बार बार गलती कर रहा है तो उसको सजा देनी बहुत जरूरी है, फॉर विच यू डेफिनेटली विल बिकम अ विलन इन हिज लाइफ. समझ में आ रहा है? आप वो जो बंदा है जिसको मॉनिटर कर रहे हो उसके लिए तो आप विलन बन जाओगे, बट ये कि ये करेज बहुत कम लोगों में है ना ऐसा करने का. वो एनफोर्समेंट करना जो है ऑफ कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट was missing, but now in all respects, if you see, the appointment of observers are there, the observers are being appointed, the expenditure statement of the daily implementation of the code of conduct is also being released. There are ordering of the repoll in specific polling booths and the other areas where the elections are nullified. So re-elections are also, by-elections are also conducted very soon, right? तो ये सब चीजें ये एनफोर्समेंट हम लोग करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं अभी फिलहाल में, राइट? अभी भी देखिए आपके जो इलेक्शंस और कैंपेन्स के टाइमिंग्स होते हैं, इलेक्शन कैंपेन के वक्त जो पब्लिक फंड है वो हमारे ये जो क्या कह सकते हैं आप, कुछ हद तक ही हमारे ऑफिशियल्स यूज कर सकते हैं, या फिर ये लोग जो भी सब्सिडाइज करेंगे उतना ही अमाउंट जो सब्सिडाइज करके देते हैं वो यूज कर सकते हैं. उसके अलावा भी एक्सेस फंड यूज हो रहा है गवर्नमेंट का प्रचार करते वक्त, पार्टी का प्रचार करते वक्त गवर्नमेंट का पैसा यूज हो रहा है पार्टी का प्रचार करते वक्त, राइट? तो ये जो है कहीं ना कहीं इसमें हम लोग को और डेवलपमेंट करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. फ्री एंड फियरलेस पोलिंग कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग कर पाए हैं, बट अभी भी कुछ स्टेट्स ऐसे हैं जहां पर हम लोग नहीं कर पाए. Now, if you talk about Maharashtra itself, in areas of Naxalite area, you would have heard of Gadchiroli district. Now, this Gadchiroli district, even today, people are fearful of going to vote. And
Yes.
in northeastern area, yes, they are fearful. In the Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh region, they definitely need to deploy the military and the CRPF people before election procedure, right? So there are areas. I don't know whether you people have seen that movie Newton.
Yes, sir.
Newton, that movie is purely made to explain the problems in our election process. In our country, most of the people who go out for vote, they don't even know the name of the candidate who are standing in their constituencies. Getting this idea?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
that's reality, right? That's reality. That's bitter, but that's reality. And we have incorporated EVM as well, but I don't know whether we have rightly done that or not, because it purely depends upon the transparency with which and the ethics with which it is being made and the programming has been done, right? So electronic voting machine that have been introduced, that actually helps somewhere or the other to reduce the time required for counting of the votes. That's important. So ये थोड़ा किया हम लोगों ने ये भी एक नया डेवलपमेंट किया. It's been decided that the vote of an independent candidate would not lead to the cancellation of an election. Earlier that was the case. Understand that. पहले क्या होता था कि अगर कोई इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट है, कोई पार्टी से बिलोंग नहीं करता है, if he dies during the election procedure, elections were cancelled and the re-elections used to happen. But that used to cost a huge amount of money from the public exchequer. Getting this idea? But now it's not the case. आप देखोगे कि elections हो जाएंगे, कई बार तो dead people are also elected, right? We have seen that happening. Dead people are also elected into the parliament, into the legislative assembly, right? Am I clear with this, guys? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is something which we had done. अब भाई बात ये कि अभी आप समझिए, सभी लोग जो एक पार्टी से बिलोंग करते हैं, let's say if all of us belong from BJP, right, and we are currently now into power, understand that, right? So what we do, all of us, if we have that kind of a hunger of having power in our hand, all of us will want to become a minister.
Minister.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
राइट
Yes.
तो अर्लियर दैट वाज द केस कि भाई हर एक इंसान जो है वो मिनिस्टर बनाया जाता था, कोई ना कोई काम दिया जाता था उसे, छोटा मोटा ऐसा मिनिस्टर बना दिया था। कम से कम 100 तो 100-150 तो मिनिस्टर रहते थे, मतलब समवेयर अराउंड 110 112 मिनिस्टर्स वर देयर। इतने मिनिस्टर्स, मिनिस्टर्स ऑफ स्टेट्स, फिर उसके बाद सपोर्टिंग मिनिस्टर्स, पार्लियामेंट्री सेक्रेटरीज, इतनी बड़ी मशीनरी बना के what you are actually trying to do, actually you are trying to give powers to all these people so that they can enjoy, right? ये आप ट्राई कर रहे हो ना, बट ये जो मूव है ये 2003 में आया। that move was on the recommendation of the first administrative reforms commission. Now guys, there were two administrative reforms commissions, first ARC and second ARC. Both these are very very important for you guys, understand. I'll share a document with you of second ARC. Second ARC is very huge, you must not read everything, but for this subject second ARC is very very important for you, and not only for this, for your politics segment as well. तो मैंने एक बहुत ही कंसाइज नोट्स बनाए हैं आप लोग के लिए, आप लोग को वही पढ़ना है, बाकी उससे ज्यादा कुछ पढ़ना नहीं, क्योंकि हम लोग को मेन मालूम होना चाहिए कि दिया क्या है इसके अंदर। तो सेकंड ARC इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस फॉर एग्जामिनेशन। फर्स्ट ARC नहीं पूछेगा आपसे कोई।
हाँ।
फर्स्ट ARC के रिकमेंडेशंस के ऊपर में हमने क्या किया, वी रिड्यूस द साइज ऑफ द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स। we reduced the size of the council of ministers. Now what was the size earlier? Now the size of very very large, right? Was very large last time or before that. This committee recommended for 10% of the complete number of people who are there into the state legislature or the parliament. Only those many people should be regarded as the council of ministers. That was something which was decided by the Administrative Reforms Commission, but in constitutional amendment which happened in 2003, right? So in 2003, 91st constitutional amendment happened, which defined that the council of ministers should be 15% of the strength of the lower house of the parliament or the state legislature. Am I clear with this? Yes. So it's not more than that. 15% is the maximum cap. Are you clear with this, guys? So there must be some reforms on political funding which is still pending now. There are certain reforms over the political funding which are still pending now, right? So the reform of political funding, as right pointed out by Preeti, that yes, political funding, they also undergo a lot of mismanagement and misappropriation, right? So as everyone knows that the source of political parties is through private donations, one of the sources you can say in India. But internationally, there are three broad patterns of state funding for political parties and elections, right? I talked about minimalistic and maximalistic approach or maximalistic pattern. I'll just explain it once more here. Right. So once the question was raised, I explained it there, but now let me just throw some light over it. Now, if you see here, please understand this very carefully. That's something which is utmost essential for you people to understand. One is minimalist pattern, wherein elections alone are partially subsidized, usually through specific grants or state rendered services. So there would be state rendered services which would be partially subsidized through a specific grant. If let's say there is no state rendered service, there is some private service which the parties are taking, that would be subsidized by the government, right? This is what they do here. So candidates are accountable for the public authority for observance, reporting, and disclosure of the expenditure for the limited expenditure election period. तो पूरे टाइम के लिए नहीं बताना पड़ता है इनको कि भाई इन्होंने क्या एक्सपेंडिचर किया है, लेकिन जो इलेक्शन का कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लागू होता है और इलेक्शंस के टाइम पे जो अमाउंट स्पेंड करा जाएगा वो सब जो है इनको डिस्क्लोज करना पड़ेगा. तो ये जो यूके, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Canada are the examples of this kind of a pattern, the first minimalistic pattern, right? So what I'm just telling you is, in this case, the money would be borne by the political party, understand that, but the services would be availed either by the state or by the private agencies, and would be subsidized by the government as such, right? And once it is subsidized, that would be a minimalistic approach. That is the minimum involvement of the government, and the government is subsidizing for them. But whereas for the other things, they must disclose their expenditures made during this period. That's the minimalistic pattern. Let's talk about the maximalistic approach, right? So second is maximalistic pattern of state funding, which involves public funding not only for the elections but even for the other party activities. So elections ही नहीं, elections के अलावा जो भी पार्टी की एक्टिविटीज है सबके लिए फंडिंग जाता है, लेकिन इसका कैपिंग डिसाइडेड है और इसमें भी all of them are responsible and accountable for observance, reporting and disclosure of the expenditures. Okay, so they are again responsible here as well. But I, out of these two, which one do you think would be good if you really ponder upon it? Which one do you think would be good for our nation out of these two? Yes, anyone? You'll have to unmute yourself and then speak.
Sir, I think maximalist pattern should be appropriate for our country.
Yes. Why do you think that?
So because as you have said before, the private donations, they have been increasing year by year.
Right.
So this will be a cap. There will be a
Others?
cap on the
Others?
Sir, I slightly disagree because maximalist pattern involves spending the public money, right?
Okay.
Right, public funding, and the state is paying for all of this. So even though if the budget is decided, seeing the normal pattern of how things go around here, I don't think it'll take the political parties a lot of time to find loopholes and spend more from the government pocket and
Very
like
good, very good, and very
violate this.
valid point. Then very good and very valid point. Sakshi, do you want to go ahead and put some your suggestion over it? Which side would you take? Do you think
Yep. So
maximalist?
I just
Yeah.
Yes, so I would want to add to Anushka's point that as well as because many private parties are putting in the money to all these political fundings and everything, why not make it more like realistic, make it out loud in the public rather than actually spending the public money which
Okay.
the
Exactly.
government funding,
Okay.
and then yes, why not make it more like out loud that okay, if the private parties are investing in all these things,
Okay.
then why not make it more clear?
Okay.
Yep.
So
Because if
yes, anyone else? Okay, let's go ahead. As you people have rightly said, and you people have put your own explanations about choosing any of them, right? So both of them, they are functioning well in their own domains. Both of them, they are functioning well in different countries. Like Sweden is, you can say, one of the most developed nations now. So it is also utilizing such kind of a maximalist pattern, but whether that would suit in our uh, India's condition or not, we are not sure of it. right? But yes, somewhere or the other, we know that most of the funding to the political parties is coming from the private donations, and we are not subsidizing anything.